Guys, it doesn't happen often, but every once in a while we get an awesome full custom knife on the channel. Thanks to Scab over at Quiet Boys Cutlery. I'm going to tag him down below. Check out his channel. We're going to look at this awesome knife and stay tuned to the end because what's in here is a huge announcement for the channel. So let's turn this around and get started and wait till you see what's in here. All right, guys, like I said in the intro, this is a real treat. Now, this came from Scab. He wanted me to sharpen it and fix some of the edge issues that this had because somebody had really screwed it up. But what this is a version of the Mac V SOG buoy, but done as a full custom with Shaney's take on it. And you can see, this is the original spec size of the SOG buoy that was carried in Vietnam by the Military Assistance Group, Special Operations Group, MAC V in Vietnam. This is a much larger knife. So let's go ahead and get this out of the way and take a look at the custom version. Now, this is, like I said, it's the basic overall profile of the Mac V SOG. You can see here. Oh, sorry, that's going to happen a lot, guys, the way I've got the tripod set up for this larger knife. This is the Military Assistance Command Vietnam Classic, 23 out of 33. He only made 33 of these knives, and it is massive. So it is hang on a second, I've got the specs from Shaney here. So you're looking at an 8-inch blade in Sleipner steel. Now, I haven't had much dealings with Sleipner steel, and then it's a custom handle. It's a 6-inch handle. It is a hidden tang. It's got a brass guard and pommel. And the Sleipner steel is pretty cool. I don't know much about Sleipner steel except what I looked up, and it's really similar. And you guys know I hate comparing steels to other steels. You know, it's like comparing apples and donuts. But this is apparently a very close formulation to Crewware, CPM Crewware, but it's not powdered metallurgy. It's made for cold work tools. This has got this brass pommel and guard with a stacked leather washer handle. Now, this is not how it came from Shaney. I was told that there are some issues with this knife, and it's from a previous owner before it was sent to Scab. But this thing is insane. This blade is just beautifully done. If you've never seen any of the Shade Indonesia customs, they are great. Shaney does great work. You've got all this intricate engraving on here that's then been filled with probably either black epoxy or, if it was done traditionally, pitch and then finished off and then sealed. It could be a black lacquer on this, but it really gives you some beautiful contrast. In hand, this thing is great. It is heavy, not gonna lie. Look at the size of the guard and the tang on this, but it gives it a feel that is really well balanced. It doesn't feel tail heavy and it doesn't feel blade heavy. It feels very, very nimble. And that's what you would want. And because this is designed as a combat knife. You've got this beautiful grind work on here. The grinds on this for a custom knife, really consistent. There are some issues, but I don't really complain about them too much. Now, I did resharpen this for Scab, and the Sleipner steel takes an insane edge. Like I said, it's the first time I've ever sharpened it. The positioning of the guard is great. It's at a slant instead of being straight across, which can feel like the blade is out of position. That angle really gives it a good position to align your thumb with the tip, which is what you want in a stabbing motion. And then you can really bear down on it and get it up here if you really want to power into something. But the weight at the tail here means that when you swing this, I apologize, I can't keep the whole knife in focus because it's just so big. The weight back here allows you to recover from that really easily. So that weight back here and the balance means it's really nimble. For such a big knife, it feels really good in hand and well balanced. I just can't get over how it feels. Now we have to talk about the obvious here, which is this is a very Western looking blade. This is a Vietnam era combat knife. It's a very recognizable blade profile. And then you have what seems to be almost, I want to say almost a Persian dagger style inspired handle. I would have expected this handle to be on like the Persian knife that you would see in like Lawrence of Arabia, but it's absolutely gorgeous. And then you've got this beautiful sheath with it. And it is incredibly good. I gotta do this two-handed. I was trying to do it one-handed. I apologize. Really, really good sheath on this. Great, great leather work on this. I'm not sure if Shaney does these sheaths himself, but it is great. It's all hand-stitched leather. There's no snap or anything here that you're going to have to fight with, just up here on the actual, up here on the belt loop area. And then you've got a spot where you can put a lanyard on this and then tie it to your leg if you want. Now you can see that leather's a little bit cracked, but that's, you know, Scab already told me that there's some issues. And then you have a pouch here that would fit like a small Norton's India stone. And you can put here, you can put a fire stick for a fire steel. And then just look at how thick this blade is on this. This is a beautiful blade. This is not, for as big as it is, it does not feel oversized. It definitely feels very balanced. Like I just can't, I know I keep saying it, but I can't get over it. And then just little things, like little cutouts here for your finger if you want to get if you want to get up on it like this for doing tasks and things like that, because sometimes you do want to get up closer on that blade and reach across and give yourself a little bit more control, and to have that little cutout there. And then you can see here just some beautiful markings on the blade, Shade Indonesia. This is the first of Shaney's customs that I've seen in person. I've seen their knives. I've seen these knives on, you know, on other videos, but I've never gotten to handle one, and it's great. And I have another one here called the Slayer, which is massive. We're gonna have to film that one outside. It just will not fit on the bench for us to look at. So yeah, this thing's incredible. If you've never handled any of Shaney's work, I definitely recommend it. It's definitely a lot of fun for me. Like you can see, like it's massive. This thing is massive. So there are a couple things I don't like about the knife. You guys know that I always like to give you the, you know, the good and the bad. So flip side of the story, flip side of the knife. Okay, not a lot on this because it's a custom knife. So there are some little grind issues that I'm going to overlook because I've hand ground knives. I'm much more inclined knowing that, but this is why I never put swedges on my knives. Can you see here the small inconsistency on the width of that swedge at the tip? It leads you to having a little bit of an inconsistent tip grind. It kind of kicks the cant of that blade over ever so slightly. The big the big thing, the elephant in the room, is the size. As much as I love this knife, and it is a good knife, don't get me wrong, like I talked about the balance and everything, it is just too big. In comparison to what was the actual combat carried version, you can see it's a lot bigger. And that leads to a problem of carryability, because if you see here, that's end to end. This is a very utilitarian knife. I can use this. I can do a lot of things with this. It doesn't feel out of sorts. And while the balance on this is good, it's better on this. You have a lot more nimble knife. You've got a lot less distance between your hand and the tip of the blade. On this, it's just too much. And then when you carry it, the weight, it is way, way heavier than the other one. It absolutely is too heavy to be a comfortable belt carry. It's not meant to be the combat knife. I understand that, but it's just too much when you've got all this brass and stuff. And then the next thing, I'm not a fan of stacked leather washer handles. They do have a tendency to rot and come apart and get bad. And it's not as good a material. If you're going to use a natural material, I much prefer wood over leather. I'm not a fan of either. I would much rather have like a composite material that is going to stand the test of time, be water resistant, waterproof, things like that. And then as far as the last thing on this knife, this is a great sheath. It is very well made, but this is my big problem. It needed a retention strap across here. I mentioned it because I was kind of going to say it in the other part, but it needed a strap to go across here. That would have provided you a lot better retention on that. Now, I know most of us aren't going to be doing backflips and stuff like that, but it definitely, it's something to think about if you were going to try and find one of these and try and carry it. So other than that, guys, I really don't have much. It's a beautiful, beautiful knife. Thanks to Scab for sending along. And Shaney, this is incredible work. Don't take any of the negative things I said to heart, like, because I've seen other knives that you've done and they're just gorgeous. So let's go ahead and turn this around, use final thoughts, show you the big reveal as to what's going on the channel, and send you out about your day. That's right, guys. This thing is just incredible. I've said enough of it about it at the table. But let's go ahead and talk about the big announcement, because what is in here is an amazing thing for the channel. We got a new hat, because this one is just pretty much done in. So, guys, sorry. I know I played with your emotions, but that's just how we get you guys to watch the whole video. That's it on this one. You guys know what to do. Like, share, subscribe, drop a comment, hit the bell icon. Make sure that you check out all the affiliate links down below. That's how I support the channel, because I don't have sponsors anymore. All of those support the channel, don't cost you anything extra at checkout. The big one is the Amazon store, where any Amazon shopping you do, I get a portion of it. There's a few links down there, well, a couple. Coffee Berry Coffee and Tempered Trail that have discounts built into them, 10% off. You can also save 10% off with coupon code crazysharp at KATSU Knives, Forged Knife Works, and Rose Craft Blades. You can also check out my public Discord. Well, it's a gilded server down below. And check out the memberships if you want to support the channel. I just did a giveaway of like $400 of knives that no one has claimed yet. So, guys, that's it on this one. I love y'all. Keep it clean in the comment section. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. And I'll see you in the next video.